In the quiet outskirts of a bustling city, there lived a mechanic named Elias who had a talent for fixing almost anything that came his way. His workshop was a cluttered haven of tools, parts, and machinery scattered across every available surface. Yet, despite the chaos, he always seemed to know exactly where to find what he needed. For years, Elias had worked tirelessly repairing cars, bikes, and the occasional odd device that locals brought to him. But his life changed one fateful evening, when a mysterious object crashed just beyond the wooded hills near his home. The sound of the crash was like a thunderclap, splitting the air apart in an instant. Elias stood frozen with the wrench in his hand. Staring toward the direction of the noise, curiosity got the better of him, and he quickly grabbed a flashlight and hopped onto his trusted old motorbike. The journey to the crash site was short, but eerie as the faint smell of burning metal hung heavy in the air. As Elias arrived, he found himself staring at an otherworldly sight. Half buried in the earth was a sleek, metallic vessel. Unlike anything he had ever seen, its surface shimmered with an iridescent glow, and strange markings ran along its hull. Pulsating faintly with light, though damaged, it radiated an undeniable sense of power and mystery. Elias approached cautiously, his flashlight cutting through the darkness to reveal a partially open hatch. His heart raced as he climbed aboard, finding the interior both beautiful and alien. Wires dangled from the ceiling panels sparked faintly, and a low hum vibrated through the air, indicating that the ship was still alive in some capacity. As a mechanic, Elias could not help but marvel at the intricate designs and technology, though he had no clue how it functioned. His instincts told him that he could repair it. Days turned into nights as Elias worked tirelessly on the ship. Piece by piece, he deciphered its workings through trial and error. And with each success, he felt a sense of pride unlike anything he had ever experienced. Despite the lack of clear understanding, he was guided by the universal principles of machinery, fixing connections and replacing damaged components, using whatever he could scavenge from his workshop and the surrounding area. Unbeknownst to Elias, his efforts were being observed deep within the ship. Lay its pilot, a creature that resembled a wolf, yet bore distinctly alien features. Its fur shimmered with an unnatural silver hue, and its eyes glowed with an otherworldly light. Weak and injured, it had been placed in stasis by the ship upon impact, as a means of survival. Now, as the ship's systems slowly came back online, the stasis began to weaken. One fateful night, as Elias adjusted a particularly troublesome section of the ship's engine, he heard a low growl echo through the vessel. Startled, he turned to find the alien wolf standing in the dim light. Its posture was wary, and its piercing eyes bored into him. Elias froze, unsure of how to react. He held up his hands in what he hoped was a universal gesture of peace. And after a tense moment, the creature's stance relaxed slightly. Communication was difficult, but not impossible. Over time, Elias discovered that the ship's systems had a rudimentary translation function, allowing him and the wolf-like alien to exchange basic ideas. The creature, whose name sounded like a soft, melodic howl, explained that it had been on a mission when an unforeseen malfunction had forced an emergency landing on Earth. It expressed gratitude for Elias's efforts in repairing the ship, as well as concern for returning to its homeworld. Elias felt a mixture of awe and responsibility. He had unknowingly stepped into a world far beyond his own comprehension, yet he was determined to see his task through to completion. He redoubled his efforts, working late into the night with the alien assisting where it could, though its injuries limited its abilities. A bond began to form between the two, born of mutual reliance and respect. As the ship neared full functionality, the alien revealed more about its world and the dire circumstances that had led to its journey. It was a protector of its people, tasked with safeguarding them from a hostile force that threatened their existence. The ship was not just a means of transportation, but a vital tool in their defense. Elias could hardly grasp the weight of the situation, but he understood enough to know that time was of the essence. On the final night of repairs, the ship's systems roared to life for the first time since its crash. The alien wolf's eyes gleamed with a mixture of relief and determination. Elias stood back, marveling at the ship in its fully restored glory, yet a pang of sadness crept into his heart as he realized that this chapter of his life was coming to an end. The alien approached Elias, bowing its head in a gesture of thanks, and placing a paw on his shoulder. Through the translation system, it conveyed its deep gratitude and promised that its people would remember his kindness as a token of appreciation. It gifted Elias a small device that glowed faintly in his hand, though it did not explain its purpose. As dawn broke, the alien boarded its ship, and with a final glance toward Elias, it initiated liftoff. The vessel ascended rapidly, disappearing into the sky in a burst of light. Elias stood alone in the clearing, staring at the empty space where the ship had been. His life would never be the same, and though he had returned to the familiar chaos of his workshop, he carried with him a sense of wonder and a reminder that even the smallest acts of kindness could ripple across the stars.